Welcome to the 4 a.m. Club. If this is your first time, like and subscribe. So it is no secret that today's movies are in trouble. And what I mean by that is movies these days are more likely to flop than they are to succeed. Unless it's something like, actually even the Avengers Marvel movies aren't even safe because they've been flopping all over the place. It seems like when I go to the movie theater, even when I like a movie, I go read up about it and it tanked. Like, for example, I just went and watched... What's ironic is previous Superman is playing this character in Ungentlemanlike Warfare. And I loved the movie. I thought it was great. And it only made like $9 million at the box office. So it was a huge loss. Why I bring that up is because movies are in trouble. And if this Superman movie doesn't do well, I don't think we're going to get another DC universe. I don't think we're going to get another Superman trilogy or whatever. And I really want this film to succeed. So with that being said, I have put together 7 things as a Superman fan and as a movie fan, really, that I want to see in this new James Gunn movie, David Corenswet leading as Superman. I want to see these 7 things implemented in the movie. The first thing I want to see in this new Superman movie that would make me happy as a Superman fan is a new villain. There's been a ton of Superman movies, live action. If you go back to the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, Superman Returns, Man of Steel, that's pretty much all we got. And we have shows like Smallville, Clark and Lois that bring us live action versions. But as far as live action movies, I think we need a new villain, whether it's Brainiac, Bizarro. I don't want to see Zod right away again because we've seen that already. Lex Luthor is very welcome in this film. Obviously, you always need to have Lex Luthor, but I don't want him to be the main villain in this. He can be in the movie and have a role in it, but I don't think that he should be the main villain in this movie. There's a ton of great Superman Rogues Gallery members to pick from if we want to have a really good villain. You could do Mongol. Obviously, they've done Doomsday, and they did that super bad. That was a terrible adaptation of Doomsday. You can do Ultraman. I don't think that would be the best thing to do in a first movie. I think Parasite would be a good one. Tallow would be okay, but you'll see why in the list later that's not the best choice. Another really good one, you could even do Lobo. I think he's sweet. I think he'd be a great villain. Even this guy, he is a Kryptonian killer. I think that would be pretty cool if he comes in, he's a bounty hunter, he's looking for Superman. Just to sum up, we need a new villain for this movie we haven't seen before. The second thing I want in this movie to make me happy, it can be said by Superman himself or somebody else. I want the classic phrase, "This looks like a job for Superman."
This looks like a job for Superman. This is a job.
Goes way back to when he was first introduced in the comics. I think that's a great phrase. I think you can add that into this movie without it being super cheesy. I think you can make it sound really cool. My favorite part of movies today is when they have a little nostalgia in there on top of a great story, great writing, great acting. This looks like a job for Superman. You better put that in there, James Gunn. The third thing I want to see as a Superman fan in this new movie is I want to see the Fortress of Solitude. However, I want to see additional Superman suits in the Fortress of Solitude, kind of like what they do with Batman's Batcave or even Iron Man's garage or whatever you want to call it. I just think it would be cool to see some other suits, especially because James Gunn has adapted the Kingdom Come logo for his main look. I think it'd be cool to see that, even though this is going to be an early Superman, but he's been Superman for a little bit. So it'd be cool to see that he's had some other uniforms, or maybe even wear 2 or 3 uniforms in the show. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, if budget comes into it, obviously maybe they can't do that. But if you even want to just bring in some super suits that have been used in other movies, I think that'd be cool. The number 4 thing that I want to see in this Superman movie is him doing daily activities at the Daily Planet. There's been this before, but I feel like especially lately in the Snyderverse Superman movies, there's hardly any of this, except that one scene with Perry White. I feel like we need a more accurate adaptation of why he works at the Daily Planet and his day-to-day. I mean, I don't want it to be all of Daily Planet and Clark Kent, but I just think we need a little bit more than what we've gotten in the past. Going with that, number 5 is I want to actually witness his relationship with Jimmy Olsen. I feel like I've been told that him and Jimmy Olsen are such great friends, but I've never really seen it outside of the comics and some TV shows. I think it would serve them well if they make that trio of Lois Lane, Clark Kent, and Jimmy Olsen being a team. I know he's supposed to be Lois's partner, but I think putting them and making them look like good friends, like we're told that they are, would serve this movie well. So I would like to see that. The number 6 thing I want to see in this movie to make me happy as a Superman fan is actually the lack of kryptonite. What I mean by that is I do want to see kryptonite in it, hint at it, have Lex Luthor have it, whatever, but I don't want kryptonite to be the main thing that powers him down. I feel like his kryptonite weakness is way overused, and too many people know about it. Too many people have access to it in other movies and media. Kryptonite is supposed to be a rare thing, and people aren't just supposed to know that it's his weakness. It's supposed to be a very low-key thing, and only a couple of people know about it, like Batman and Lex Luthor himself. And the number 7 thing, last but certainly not least, this is probably what I want to see in the movie the most, and maybe I'm cherry picking here, but I want to see better use of his powers. And what I mean by that is, number 1, I want to see his ice breath. I feel like I never see that in movies. I feel like it's very forgotten about, and it's not touched on. It's such a cool power. I wish that they would show that more often. So I want to see ice breath. I want to see more of him using X-ray vision, super hearing, and things of that nature. I think it's really cool when you have scenes like in Public Enemies when he's like, I heard a gorilla's heartbeat. So use super hearing more often, use X-ray vision, and definitely use ice breath. I think heat vision is a little overused. It's such a bad A power, of course, but I want to see ice breath in this new movie.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So there you have it. Those are the 7 things that I would like to see in the new James Gunn Superman movie coming out next year that would make me happy as a Superman fan. Obviously, all these 7 things have to be on top of a good story, good acting, and good casting. So just those things are more of like a cherry on top. Thank you so much for watching. And if you got this far in the video, you probably should like and subscribe.